But then it's me. I do talk, so we see. We're gonna start standing. If this is your mat, you will be looking that way, so it would be something like this. Now for you to see me, am I right? Yeah, I will face to the front. And sorry, my voice is shaking a little. Kind of thought I had gotten used to this, but I'm nervous. I don't know. Okay, look down and see your feet under your hips. So, not like this, not like this. Something in the middle. And then feel like you put your hips on top of the feet, in between the knees, right in the same line. On top of the hips, the rib cage, on top of the rib cage, the head. Open shoulders and let your arms hang. And I'm going to start working a little bit on the neck. Look, you do it your way. I'm just going to release down, move it to the right, move it to the left. Do a little bit of softening for the neck in different directions, for which I will be quiet. It's weird. It's like practicing in a shop window. When I move, I'm not really looking to go to my extreme. I'm just checking the different placements of the neck. And I'm seeing that in the movement is smooth. And when it isn't, where and how. Like for instance, now I'm moving all the way and I feel here on the left side of the neck when I get this, it's like there's a higher density. To work with that higher density, release the weight of the head, find the line that goes through the pocket of density, and breathe. So we use a combination of gentle movement. You stop every once in a while to give a few breaths to a specific line. And then dropping the head forward and the shoulders forward and relaxing the knees, I'm going to fold into a forward bend. If you see me from profile, besides my 30 feet, I bend the knees a little and just release the spine. If you have space, it's a little different in the evening, even though it's early in the practice. Maybe you feel a little softer in the body, then you can try to work with straight legs. But if when you release your lower spine feels a little tender, then much better bend your knees. I'm going to combine it with a bit of down dogging. I like down dog a lot, I have to admit. Knees bent, strong line in the arms, shoulders open, neck relaxed, head heavy. I'm in and out of talking. Hello, Minzy. I'm in and out of talking, so my breath is not gonna be super even, but yours can be because you don't need to talk to anyone. Maybe move the weight a little to one foot, to the other foot. Careful, don't step on the cat. It's really weird. She likes Jenny way more than she likes me, but when it's time to be in the pictures, she always comes in my classes. We go down to a cat, and maybe we do a few rolls. We open up, and then we round. Maybe you need to adjust your arms like I did. Mimsy, and you're gonna let me work. Inhale, open, look up. Exhale, round from the table, from the lower spine, look in. Inhale, open. And on the exhalation, let's fall back to child's pose for a little bit. Maybe keep your arms to the front. We'll go back to a down dog. In child's pose, take the chance that the position is really soft to connect with your breathing and give it depth. Slow down the rhythm. And then we move into a cat. Have a look at your hands, set your lines for down dog. And again in down dog, I'm not escaping the sensation in my body. I'm not just shifting from place to place nervously, but there is a little movement, especially in the first few times you visit the posture. Clearly externally rotated shoulders, energy through the elbows. Now I'm going to give the weight to the right leg and I'm going to stay here for a bit. And then I'm going to take the left foot up and I'm going to go forward into, how do we call this, a pigeon pose, and sit on the left hip. Let me get the mic here. Mimsy, can you do pigeon pose? Okay. And I'm going to go on the elbows and I'm going to release weight. And we will not keep it for super long as if we were in a yin practice, but a little bit, a few breaths. Give the hip time to, what's the word, melt or dissolve, sink. When things happen in your life, I don't know, your daughter comes up, your cat comes up, I don't think it's a reason, or I don't think you need maybe a tail in your mouth now, eh? But you don't need perfect circumstances to practice, just let it come to whatever you're doing. I mean, it's obvious, yeah, I'm not discovering anything, but I know sometimes people would tell you, there's never space at home, my children are around. Children can pop on top of you. Ow! Hit me. Okay, we push into the hands. And we move back to down dog again. A little moving, a little shifting. Look, when I shift, you know what I'm doing? I'm like feeling the bones of my arms, pushing my shoulders back when I lean on the right hand or when I lean on the left hand. When I sink on the one foot, I feel the bones of my leg pushing into the hip. So it's not just the movement, but you're actually using your own structure, your own bones to create space around your joints. Well, at least that's the way I look at it. And then we take the right leg up. And on an exhale, we're going to step it forward again on the outside of the leg. I barely, but I don't need to put a block under my hip because I'm almost there, touching the floor at the end of the 1 or 2, 3 minutes. I feel the floor. But if you're hovering above the floor very much, then your knee ligaments are under a lot of pressure. So put a block under the hip. On the elbows it's a little bit softer because you cut some of your weight, and if you feel the hip can take it, then you remove the elbows. Don't think too much of stretching. It's true you're stretching, but think more. You're opening a part of the body, and the intention, it's not just a mechanical pull, the intention is you open it. And then with your breath, with your gaze, with the way you approach it, with the color of your emotional field, kind of what we're doing is transform the quality of the material that you're opening. So it's not so much about a mechanical stretch that is kind of like an excuse. It's more about the vibrational shift through paying attention and breathing. Sorry, I sound very new age. But yeah, that's how it feels. Okay, enough for now. Put the hands, prepare the back foot, and back. A little movement to dissipate the tightness or the harsher layer of the sensation. And I'm gonna go down again to cut, just to take a little break in the shoulders. And then inhale, I move up. Up, I mean I arch the spine. Maybe you don't see it super deep in me. I'm not very deep in my back bend since I started my surfing career. But think, you start with it. Okay, let's do it in the rounding forward. You start with the tailbone forward, you feel your lower spine rounding, then you feel that curve moving towards the upper spine and the neck, and then you even push yourself above your shoulders so you're fully round. And then when you open, lead with the tailbone again and follow the wave. Try to get it in between the shoulder blades. That is where I'm not very deep and maybe it doesn't show much from all the paddling. And then again, we go round. And we open up. Don't do it as an exercise. Really look at the quality of the movement. Even if it's not perfect, but the attention is not on the end and the beginning. The attention is in the whole moving pattern. Kind of trying to clean up, make it smooth, make it constant and continuous. And the purpose is to warm up the spine entirely. Inhaling, we open up one more time, and this time we prepare the ankles and we move to down dog. I'm a little sore in the hips from yesterday, so I am going to keep going on the hip direction. I take the right foot forward. I'm going to start with straight legs actually, a little shorter, put the left heel down as well. And I'm going to come up into a simple triangle pose. I'm going to line the bones of the front leg, let them sink into the hip. I'm going to connect with the back foot as well. I don't care about the arms now, I'm really working on the hips. If you want to align your spine, you can try to get that left hand behind you. See if I don't embarrass myself. And then I'm going to go down slowly and ask for permission to my hip to see how much it wants to open. Actually, I'm going to take the hand out. And even with a block, I have them behind me. If you feel like you don't want to carry the whole weight on your hands and you don't reach to the floor with the fingertips, sometimes reaching with the whole hand is a bit much. So you can use a block. If you have the whole weight on the hand, you can get the toe grip and kind of pull up. Use it to come a little taller. If you feel like extending the line to the left hand, do it. Sometimes in these positions, I'm always still in the posture overall, but sometimes there's a little bit of nuances in the placing. And there are times where instead of deciding, okay, I set this position and I go with it through thick and thin, you allow a little movement. Somehow I'm in that mode today. When I come up, change the position of the feet, move towards the back of the mat. Bones of the left leg aligned. And that doesn't mean that you want the knee completely locked, but active, alive. And then I move towards the front leg, but open in the direction of the pelvis, so the right shoulder doesn't fall. And then I go, this one is tighter. Okay, how much you let me? I'm not making a big effort for a very wide breath because I'm speaking, but you are. Maybe effort is not the word, but let's say attention to the breath, kind of like as if the breath is your way to touch your body. Imagine you have tentacles, but your tentacles is your breath, the way it moves inside the position. I'm gonna go a little deeper. And to close this sequence, I place the feet parallel, bend the knees a little, and I release the body in between the legs, maybe a little shorter in the stand. Release the head. Maybe let your legs alternatively fall. Bend one knee more than the other one so your hips kind of swing from side to side. As you do this, like I said before, yeah, it feels a bit like that. It feels like asking for permission. It's a friend and you're gonna invite yourself to your friend's house and start opening doors, yeah? And going into drawers. So your hips are that friend. So you ask for permission, can I? And then we can start to go into straighter and straighter legs if you feel comfortable. If you need a block to support some of your weight, use it. And otherwise, see if you can release your whole spine upside down. I'm going to choose a passive approach, so I'm just gonna hang here. If you wanna use an active approach, maybe you wanna pull from the hands, straighten the back. Release here, look to the front of the mat and go there for a down. And now with more space on the hips, with more space in the shoulders as well, I'm going to keep this dog still. I'm going to start with bend knees a little bit, get the back lying straight, shoulders open. And then I'm going to see how my hamstrings fit today. Hello hamstrings. Oh no, no hamstrings, calves. Hello calves. I fall down on my knees, open the feet a little. I'm going to sit between the heels. If this is uncomfortable for you, put a block under. Actually, I'm going to use a flat one. You have the very thick ones and some that are a bit flatter. I'm going to treat my body with compassion today. It's not so much, it depends. Like now I could go to the floor, but I feel my knees a little achy, so I'm going to give them more space to sit up a little. That's something that is nice in yoga for those of you who practice for many years. You know you don't have to do always the most difficult thing you can do. No? So you can also choose that which is a little easier to work on details rather than always be at the edge of the sensation. So I'm going to twist towards the left. Where is my block? There. A little pull from the right hand, a little push into the left one, straight back, spiraling but straight. And then we breathe. If it's too difficult like this, just sit on the floor and cross your legs. And I release. I'm going to be super rude and give you my back because I have to do the other side. Since I have a block, I'm going to get another one just to be able to push with my hand. I like this feeling of support in the back, reaching height, then heavy on the sit bones. Then the right shoulder opens behind you, the left one as well. The chest occupies the space between the shoulders. And exhale, we release, move forward, hands forward, blocks out, and down dog. I extend the right leg now. I'm going to work one heel down, one heel up, and allow my spine to twist a little. What happens, means. And then I'm going to take a long step forward, place the foot, place the heel, pick up the cat, and go into an open hip but bent. I'm going to put my elbow on the knee and look how this sounds. This is all bearing. The elbow on the knee, the left leg straight. And I'm just going to use the position to sink a little on the right hip Don't lose the left foot. If it's easy and you feel like you want to go a little deeper, we can bring the right hand to the floor and create lines with the arms, maybe up, maybe in line with the back leg. But sometimes, for me this happens a lot, if I'm really focusing on the hip, sometimes I don't need the arm lines. It depends what I'm doing. Now I really want to focus on the hips. See, what's up with you today? Come from here. Turn the feet towards the cut. Ow! Bend the front knee. Drop the elbow. You can simplify here. Then drop the hips. And if you want to have extended lines through the arm or up from the floor. Mimsy, why are you biting me like that? What happened to you today? But I repeat, what I feel more is I want to feel the left hip and how much I can sink. And careful not to twist your knee, so your front thigh is parallel to the long edge of the mat. Then we come up from here. Actually, let's go to the back of the mat and do a down there. Down, down there. Ouch, come on. I'm going to again lift the right leg up. But this time I'm going to let it fall behind me and I'm going to go into a back bend here with only one hand on the floor. Now careful with this base shoulder, very well placed. So there's an external rotation, the arm is vertical, there's a lift of the chest, and you only keep the position for as long as this left arm feels steady. When it starts to shake, stop. The right arm goes overhead. Sometimes it can go really deep. You can see people here touching the floor. And then I drop the hips, I move the hand forward, and I return to down dog. Move a little if you want, shift a little, settle in down dog. And then I take the left leg up. I'm going to start with a little work here from heel to heel. Then the foot is going to fall behind you. Not step neither on the mic nor on the cut. And then open shoulder, left arm overhead. And one more breath. Exhale, release. And we come back. And then we go with the knees down. Sit on the heels again like we did before. Hands behind you. And I'm going to push the hips a little up. Drop the head. Drop the hips. Just marking. Checking if you need to move your hands to a different place. And once again, we push into the hands. We push into the feet. We lift the hips. Open shoulders. Maybe hang the head. Just marking. And again, we release, adjust a little. And the next one, we keep it for a while, all right? I said I was not going to talk. Can't help myself. Feet push into the floor, knees push into the floor, shoulders open, neck relaxes. Exhale, release. Go with the hands to the floor. Put the elbows on the ground. This one I like very much. child's pose, but a massage child's pose. Put the heels of the cut hair, the heels of the hands around the cheekbones, one and the other one, and we're just gonna place the head in different places, give them weight, and use the weight of the head in the hands to give ourselves a bit of a face massage. Around the cheekbones feels very nice, moving towards the jaws feels very nice. And if you're careful, around the corners of the eyes, the ridge around the eye can be also nice to work on. Just careful with the eye itself. Okay. So we're going to one more down dog. I'll tell you what, we do this last one. Last down dog for now. So I'm going to look at my hands, set them nicely, very spread, full. Think if you would have your hand on the sand, yeah, you would have a full handprint, nothing lifting from the floor. Then the shoulders rotate externally, the back aligns with the arms, the neck drops. And then with the legs, wherever you want. If you have enough length in the hamstrings to add them to the picture without rounding your back or just a little maybe, then it's worth it. Then push with the heels, draw the energy from the kneecaps. Otherwise, knees bent. And then we look to the front of the mat and we're gonna go there to sit this time. Cross-legged. Sure. Let's, on a cross-legged position, doesn't need to be a half lotus, it can be a normal cross-legged position. What we did before, the twist that we did before, we're going to repeat it. And in a way where sometimes when you do similar positions like hip openers or twist or back bend, and after a while, after 20 minutes or half an hour, you do it again, in this second opportunity, once again, you can choose. Maybe your body is a bit more open to the posture, so you can go deeper. But you can also choose to go softer. In this case, I'm going to go deeper. So I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to see if I reach to my left foot. There it is. And then I'm going to grab with the right hand the left knee, straighten up here. Checking the computer screen if I'm allowed. Yes. And then breathe into the twist. And then I release. See, this before I would not have been able, so warming up the body, opening the hips, softer twist to begin with, opening the shoulders. Eventually you have space at the end of the practice for doing deeper positions. In order to go to the other side, I'm going to change the half lotus so I can reach the foot. If you're super flexible in the hips and you want to do a full lotus, I can, but it hurts. Then you don't need to. You can reach both feet like this, yeah? For the ones that approach this position with half lotus, you have to change the foot. And you don't need it, eh? You can just put the hand on the floor and go for a simple twist. But if you reach, even if it's with a little bit of effort like me, and that effort is not on the knee, your knee is not suffering. If the knee is suffering or very high up, if it doesn't have a support of the other leg or the floor, you're going to weaken the knee ligament. Not worth it. So we take the left hand, straighten up, open shoulders, space between them for the chest. And this right shoulder is tighter. I need to breathe, so I'll shut up. And exhale, release. Bring the knees towards each other, the feet to the floor, the hips a little forward. Let the knees hang a little, then catch them in the arms. One hand to the opposite wrist, and we're gonna hang start rounded. I'm gonna let the fall back and the head forward, really round. With the weight of the head, see, pulling from this space up here between the shoulder blades. See if you can feel that your breath moves that area. And see if you can drop the head a little more. And then from here, I'm going to reverse this very ugly looking position. That all the yoga teachers tell you this is not the way. Now we are doing it without pushing, just relaxing the neck. But we're going to get away from it into a straight spine position. So I'm going to pull from my arms, lift the chest, open the shoulders, straighten the back, climb a little taller, open the shoulders, lift the head. Use the hook on the... Oh, means you don't drink my water. Use the pull to open your shoulders and grow a little in your upper spine. And exhale, release. Let's go to the floor, feet to the front, hips to the front. We open the legs a little wider so the soles of the feet are almost as separate as each other as we have the space in the mat. And then we lie down on the floor. Here is your water, Mimsy. No, that's not for me. And we're going to let both legs fall to the right. So the left knee... Okay. I wait until she finishes drinking. So the left knee falls on top of the right foot, and the left hip is heavy. It's heavy. And that pocket inside the left hip bone, between the left hip bone and the pubic bone, and almost as if you were scooping with your breath inside the bone. You can put your hands there and give them breath. Bring the legs to center. Take a little time. Feel now the hips even. If there is any difference from the left one to the right one. And then we let both knees fall to the left. So this area, now on this side you see it better. This area here, inside the hip bone, from the front and from the back, the lower portion of the abdomen reaching towards the pubic bone, and even inside, you can't touch because there is bone, but all that area, you want that it moves with the breath. You know she has water over there, her own bowl, but it's exciting to drink from my glass, I guess. These soft positions, you can keep them for a long time. In these videos, if you don't see them live, you will see them later. When you're in a position and you feel like it's working for you and you need more time. Pause. Pause, breathe there for a little bit, then press play again. Also, it's nice. This position really allows for the intestine to have a bit more space, and movement is almost immediate. This is a nice posture because everything we tend to do with the hips is we complain about our hips, and then when we do work, it's very edgy, it's very strong positions, very sharp feeling. It's nice to find postures that are a little softer, that help you establish a relationship with your hips that is not always pain, that it feels good. And this is one of my favorite ones. Come to center. And then soles of the feet together, knees on the sides. A more symmetric hip opening position. Once again, I want my hands really low. It depends, especially if you have one of these yoga tights. Yeah. Sometimes the elastic come very high up. So here you can slide your hands under and reach all the way to your pubic bone to have the hands on that bottom triangle. Feel your hands moving with the breath. the knees towards each other again. Clasp your fingers and see if you can, just using the friction between the fingers, completely relax in the posture with your knees in the frame that your arms create. So I'm even trying to relax my arms here. You can also use a strap and forget about everything, but then you have to set the strap. It's a pain in the ass. So try to clasp your fingers, relax your arms, maybe a little effort between the fingers, but everything else, surrender. And then here I like to make it really symmetric, so I don't overlap the feet, I don't cross them. I like the inner edges together so I can feel. My hips are a little uneven from the years back in the day when I played football, which is very common for many of us, yeah? So I like to, when I work with symmetric positions, I like to really set really symmetric so my body can tell me stories of asymmetry. I like that. Maybe relax a little so you will not correct an asymmetry in the body. Maybe you can, but most people we carry, we are right-handed, left-handed, we drive, we work in the computer, we carry the phone, we look at the phone with one hand. Asymmetry is part of life, but that it doesn't get too exaggerated or too out of hand. Stay here for a little bit. I need to drink, and my water is contaminated, so I'm gonna get a glass of water. And here I am. Sometimes I look at the mic because I speak to the mic, but you're over there. So sometimes I'm talking to this person. So we do a proper twist on the floor. We did 2 twists, both on a vertical alignment of the spine. Now we're gonna do one on a horizontal setting. Legs go to the left. We keep the right arm and shoulder open. And also you get a proper shoulder opening position, and instead of working both shoulders at the same time like we did before, maybe in down dog, or now we work only with one shoulder. So this area where my hand is, you want to feel that it moves with your breathing. Now that doesn't mean that you're going to send the breath immediately to the chest, so you still want to have a clear diaphragmatic beginning of the breath. So where I have my hand now, floating ribs, solar plexus a little higher, that is the first section of the torso that you want to feel moving with your breath. But then, on a more hips position, you would keep sending the breath down towards a clear abdominal feeling. Here on the second part of the inhale, we're going to expand the rib cage. Actually, since we are also working with the hips, here you can go for what we sometimes call a complete yogic breath, a really big breath where you start feeling the expansion of the diaphragm, and then as if it was moving both up and down at the same time, making you really big, expanding that cylinder very much. If you want to hook your hand to the right leg, you can go a little deeper in the posture, which for me is not bringing the leg down, but sending the hips away from the head. And then we come back to center. Once again, a little time from side to side. From the watcher's perspective, it's really nice when the cat comes into the picture. Otherwise, it's a yoga practice to watch must be the most boring thing in the world. Let's move the legs to the right. So I don't move them from the feet on the floor. I lift the knees first and then I drop the knees to the sides. Hold on with the right hand to the left leg if you want. If the left shoulder, look at my left hand now, it's like really floating, that I went too far, then I'm gonna kind of, when I drop the weight of the arm, it's gonna pull from the shoulders so much that maybe it feels really intense. In my case, I feel the arm touching the floor, let's say at least to the elbow. And then if the upper arm is a little just like brushing, maybe in the time that you are in the position, eventually it falls. If you have the hook of the hand in your legs, maybe push your hips a bit away. Okay. Igual quieres ser famosa, Igor. That's all. You want to be famous. Okay. We come to the middle, and then I think I promised in the title that we were going to finish on a nice yoga nidra savasana. So set your pillows, cover yourself with a blanket, arms on the sides, palms up, hips relaxed, the feet open a little bit. Give yourself to gravity entirely. This is the new class. How much you drink? You stay there. I'm gonna lead you in yoga nidra if the cat lets me. But I'm gonna sit up for that. Okay, Nimsa, come. So feel the weight in your body overall, and feel it on your exhales. Yeah, dropping heavy on the exhales without urgency. You don't need really big breaths now. They can be still a little wider than normal breath, but now you're not looking for any more work. You're looking for sinking and grounding. And then you kind of keep doing that the whole time, refining the quality of the release in parts, part by part. So you look at the body as a overall picture. You relax your breath and you feel how you give yourself to gravity entirely. And then you refine that. You go into a wrist, you go into the shoulders, you go joints. I like to go through the joints. Then in the neck, in the back. So you look at the different parts of your structure that you can identify clearly. And you start from there, like Mimsy, my love. And you start from there. And then you go into the content of the body. You go into that which is soft and warm. So the inside of your belly, the inside of your chest, the inside of your pelvis. You even have a feeling of relaxing the inside of the mouth, or even relaxing. It's a metaphor sometimes, but the feeling of sinking in the weight of the brain even. So in a way, the only thing that you can directly learn how to relax would be, oh come on, a muscle contraction. But the same feeling works for organs, works for connective tissue, works because when you relax, I don't know the scientific explanation, but the feeling is that the life in your body becomes aware of itself and aware of its possibility to not have to struggle against the life that you are living. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like the process that you see anywhere in nature, in ecosystems, the process that the astronomers see in the stars, that is going inside as well. So when your mind rests on any part of your body, or the body as a whole, yeah, I guess it's that life aware of itself and aware of the fact that there is a direction, there is an evolution if you want, and maybe I cannot choose which direction there is, the same as we cannot choose to age and die, but I can choose my level of friction to that direction in which I'm going. And in terms of the feelings in the body, that is very clear. You're going to feel your breath holding on, and you might not even know what you're holding on to something, but you keep working the idea of release, surrender, allowance. So beyond your muscular skeletal system, that approach will work for everything in your body. And since the body is the home, that will work for you as a whole, as a person. Nice. I was a little nervous and we had a guest star, but yeah, I like this class. It was nice. Good. More next week. If you're in a good place, please don't stop when this stops. Continue deepening the sensitivity of your mind in the practice, deepening the sense of grounding. And if at the end of it you fall asleep a little, not bad. Okay. I keep looking at the mic. I see you next week.